I know we can get burnished ledges from, actually. Let's go and... No, we don't want to talk to you yet. Let's go to make our tannery or whatever it's called. We're making it somewhere here. It's one of those two buildings. Garrison plot. Yeah, we gotta make something out of here. We're gonna make a tannery place where we could just, like, you know... let's see, which one is the farm? I think that's the farm over there. I'll show you what it does and everything. Nevertheless, it was kind of confusing to figure out, like, what are we gonna do as a guild? Like, what is gonna be our guild priority? What's gonna be our guild objective and all that? I was just kind of confused. Like, what are we gonna do? What are we doing? What are we up to?
What do you need?
And we got now a very nice with a meat cleaver and Lunk and Bud. They can give us a lot of quests and stuff. We'll eventually upgrade this and get more people on in our garrison. It's gonna be nice and dandy. Let's continue. Let's go ahead and finish up this thing. Let's see what we're making here. I think it's like an engineer's location. You think so? Oh, it's a war mill. Never mind then. That's kind of cool. I'll take the war mill. No problem. Anyway, I know I say anyway a lot. This is gonna be a two-part story. I guess I could probably talk a little bit more. Yeah, I guess at this point now I can probably discuss about what were the problems with the guild. So now that you heard the backstory, here are some of the things that a person didn't like. It became very clicky. It became very click-oriented. Now, here's one of the first things that happened that kind of confused me. It kind of sort of related to being clicky or not. I don't know. The whole officer thing. A lot of people in the guild took it very seriously, like, you know, having an officer rank and being an officer in the guild. A lot of people took it seriously, which I didn't see why. I mean, it's not like we had a bunch of trolls coming in here, like pouring in and day out, just trolling the guild chat or making fun of people or discouraging the guildies or whatever. We didn't have any kind of like ridiculous abuse going on. So other than just like chatting in the guild, I didn't understand the reason why guild officers had like needed to police the guild and make sure that people did not like offend each other and stuff like that. I don't know. It's like, I guess it was some kind of like, it felt a little like it's like a strangling little pressure. It's like, oh, you gotta like make sure to police the guild and stuff. It's like, I can do that, but please don't make it a top priority. It's not like it's a big problem in the guild. I mean, yeah, some guilds actually need people that actually monitor like guild chat and all that to make sure that it's not just, you know, blatant insults, cursing, and I don't know, derogatory terms all day in and day out. And I've seen some guilds have a problem with that because, you know, people are mature. But people are gonna be people, so it's like, what can you do? Just police it. Anyway, it felt very pressuring, just like the little things that it's like, oh, you're an officer, you have to set an example. It's like, can I just be a regular? Can I just play normally how I play? I mean, I'm a nice guy. I'm not the kind of guy that just goes ranting and going on a rampage in guild chat saying, oh my god, I met this hunter and he was so mean to me, or stuff like, oh my god, I met the dumbest tank in the world, I gave him the dumb tank award. No, I don't do that. I'm pretty subtle. I'm not extremely like mean to people. At least I don't consider myself. I'm pretty chill, if anything. But have to like the whole thing. You have to set an example. It's like, don't I do it already? I don't know. Maybe it was about. I believe it was mostly about the guild leader pointing fingers at others and saying, "You all need to set an example," and instead of saying, "We need to set an example." It's kind of pressuring. It's a lot different when somebody says you need to set like you all need to set an example because you're guild officers, but then it's like you're a guild leader. Shouldn't you say we all need to set an example? I mean, we're kind of part of you, sorta. I mean, you gave us a rank, you gave us that officer rank for a reason. So I don't know why else you would give us an officer rank. Anyway, the problem, the big dilemma that came with the whole like guild and the officer rank that I'm going to tell you about it now. And now we got our own Frostwell mine, our personal backyard place to mine and never get out of the world. Anyway, let's go ahead and do some mining while I continue with the story. So I actually got demoted from the officer rank. I'm not sure if I told you guys about it in the video, but I did. And the excuse was because I'm a college student. Because I am taking an initiative to, well, I'm pretty sure that, well, my friends have a guess on like that maybe it could be something else. Maybe I displeased somebody in the guild or something or whatever. But I don't think I've done something like that to anybody in like ever really. I'm not the kind of guy that just like, you know, goes and pushes people's buttons. I'm not one of those people. I'm just, a college student, and that's why I get kicked out of the officer rank, because, I don't know why I started that, my bad, because I'm a college student, which, to me, it seems a little silly and confusing. It's like, is it so bad that I'm getting an education? And I'm not even kidding you, like, you may say, like, yeah, it's probably not the reason. You might be right. Maybe there's another reason. Maybe there's a whole other agenda. Maybe there's a whole other dilemma. And they just use college student as an excuse to just like say, oh, well, you gotta focus on education, so we're kicking you out of the officer rank. Which, I mean, okay, sure. It's not like I was really getting much in officer rank. The only cool thing we had in officer rank is like the /O chat and the repair bill. Oh, the repair bill. That was like, it was like almost unlimited. It was like 1,000 gold a day, which was awesome. But now that I got when I got demoted, I was demoted to like this called legendary rank, which is a rank that made up to like be like, oh well, you're not an officer, but we still like love you the same, which it's a crap rank. Mostly because the raider rank had 300 gold per day for repair, and I had 200 gold per day for repair, so 100 gold below. I was like, can I just at least be put into a raider rank instead of legendary? It said no, so I had to stay in legendary rank for a while. And then I noticed that just a lot of things started pretty much going wrong, going haywire. Let's go ahead and turn this stuff to this buddy. Gorsal, there we go. I got all my draining stones. Go ahead and make some ore for me. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that. Let's go over and actually talk to the herbalist and see if they got us. I've got a mission for us to maybe like clear this place up and finally plant something. No, we still not doing anything with this. Okay, kind of sucks. I wish I could actually, mine some or like herb a little bit. Whatever, doesn't matter. Anyhoozle, what ended up happening is pretty much a lot of things. Where's the person I'm supposed to talk to over here? That's like Coltusk? Oh wait, there we go. I'm supposed to go this way. Ugh. Right, that was a little confusing. What am I supposed to do here? Oh wait, I already picked that up. Never mind. Did I get everything? I got everything. Alright, I am good. I'm chill. Let's go ahead and continue with the main quest. So a lot of things started, well, you know what, I'm just gonna chill back here for a little, just sit down in the chair, just finish off the story. A lot of things just started going wrong. It's like the loot drops got a little messed up. If somebody rolled a higher loot, let's say my brother rolled a higher loot for like piece of shoulders in a raid in Foundry, like normal Foundry, and the gear was supposed to go to him, but it went to the guild leader's husband, simply because he is the husband, and his excuse was, well, I keep greeting on everything that drops, like all the hunter gear that drops. Like, dude, you're playing a mage. You're not in your hunt right now, you're playing a mage. And you gotta keep greeting on it because you're playing on your mage right now. When you and your hunter need all you want on hunter gear, but as a mage, don't need on hunter gear. You're not gonna be useful. Mage cannot even wear hunter gear, so why would you even need about it? Why would you tell us a weird sob story? It's like, okay, you're playing a mage, you're rolling on cloth gear, and you got a lower roll than the person with a higher roll. It should be fair and just go directly to the person who got a higher roll. Usually in the guild, what we used to do, I'm just gonna run around, just chill over here and just like, do some garrison missions. I probably should go ahead and get on that. Before, what we did in the guild was loot council, where let's say there was a shield that dropped, and it's like an intellect shield. So all the shamans, all the pallies, and everything would just compare those shields, and the one with the worst shield would get an upgrade, which was fair. It's like it was pretty fair, and it had a pretty good organized system of like making sure that everybody gets an upgrade, or at least is sort of close to getting some kind of an upgrade. And Feng Tao is almost leveled up. We gotta get him to level up, and we gotta. Oh, sweet! Look at this. We got a belt, a 530 belt, which is gonna be awesome. Let's go and create that and wear it. Hell yeah! Thank you so much, garrison minions. Let's continue and see what else we got over here. We got another chest, and I think somebody leveled up. Let's go ahead and I guess we could do this mission over here. Send some people out. Let's do that. Some experience gaining. Let's do this. Olin, you're gonna go here. What about here? Mulbrick, Feng Tao, and Shadow Hunter. Yeah, you guys can just go earn some experience. It probably was not the most efficient way to send out all my teammates, but whatever. It's not like I'm taking garrisons on this character right now really seriously. Maybe later in the future, but not for now. Anyhoozle, after me interrupting myself every single time and, getting lost on track on the road of life and stuff. What ended up happening is, oh, we probably... Oh no, we already used that, never mind. I want to see if we can play around with the bathroom, but I don't care too much about it. Let's go and turn in the quest and continue with the main progression. Repel the Thunderlord invasion. Oh, this is where we started the Thunderlord invasion. Awesome. This is gonna be kind of fun. I guess I could probably continue talking while I'm doing this. I'm pretty sure I won't get distracted. As long as I keep a good train of thought, I'll be just fine. Nevertheless, the loot system was loot council for the longest time, but then we, for some reason, unannounced, like without an announcement, we started switching it on, switching it off, switching it on, switching off. I didn't really know exactly what the hell we were doing anymore when it comes to gear and loot. It didn't really make sense to me, and don't worry about the whole drama that's happening over there. I'm just gonna let it happen. We're gonna go ahead and defend this place from all the invaders that are gonna be attacking us, and it's gonna be nice and chill. Nonetheless, it's like the gear drops and gear loots got lazy. Nobody really was talking about anything. Officers just kept to officer chat every single time. Whenever you'd ask them a question in guild chat, nobody would answer. They usually would just talk among themselves and just really just talk bad about other people. And being an officer, I understand, like, let's say some player's a goober and he's really, like, he's a good guy, he's a good person, or he's a good player, but he's just the funniest guy in the world because he does some silly stuff in the game. I understand, yeah, have some laughs and all that, but still, like, everybody were responsible for it, for saying something mean. And I think the one person that got flamed for it the most, I think, was me, simply because it was just easy to say, oh, he started it. So well, I guess that could be one of the reasons why I got kicked out of the Officer Guild. They just didn't want to, they want somebody to blame, but they didn't want to call me out or something like that. At least that's what I think exactly happened. I can't guarantee that it's like the full truth, the honest truth, but partially I feel like that was a little bit of like why I got kicked out, because it was just easy to just kick out somebody who, let's say, like, oh, he was talking the most smack or whatever. Nevertheless, though, I mean, they kind of go harsh. I mean, I understand that some players are just real bad. I understand. And yes, I've been responsible for making fun of that one guy that simply does not know how to get mechanics, so simply just dies all the time in the game or at every single boss pull, and doesn't really pull out the most amount of damage because they spend more time dead than anything else. And yes, it's very unfortunate for some players, but I'm not gonna just mock him every single time. At a certain point, I'm like, okay, yes, this player's bad, I'm gonna leave him alone, because it's just not something that just can't be helped, something that can be assisted. The guy doesn't want the assistance, I'm not gonna try to pry on him, but I'm not gonna, like, my expectations of the player is just not gonna be so high. And it just that's just a fact. My expectations of the player is not gonna be high. I'm not gonna just keep trash talking him, but the guild kind of pushed slightly too far from time to time, and a lot of times I just kind of, you know, kept my mouth shut. It was fun at games to, like, kind of make fun of, like, oh, well, that guy's dead again. What a surprise. But, you know, I mean, like, obviously, like, shit happens, and not every player is experienced or is able to capably be, like, I don't know, perfect for the raid situation. It just happens. And I understand, shit happens. Some people need 100 tries, some people need 10 tries, some people just need 1 try in order to get the mechanics and all that. But it's whatever at this point. I'm not gonna bash on somebody. As much as I am sort of to blame on bashing on that one guy that would die a lot in our raid situations, it's certain points I understand. Sometimes, like, okay, now that we laughed at him, it's like we either can help him out or he can either just stay dead most of the times in a raid, which the second option pretty much just happened. The person simply didn't want any assistance, didn't want any help. He thought he was getting assistance about, like, let's say, copying someone else's build that was doing really well, but it just wasn't happening. It wasn't working for the guy. And as unfortunate as it is, there's nothing I can help with. If the guy just simply says, hey, I don't want your help, I'm not gonna force my help down his throat, you know? Anyway, it's a lot of crap like that end up happening in the guild, and then it's this constant, for some reason. Okay, here's also another thing. Have you ever got so frustrated you felt like you just need to step out for a little? That's what ended up happening to me. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much. I have a great train of thought here. What comes out of here is complete nonsense. What ended up happening is I just needed simply to just step out from raiding with a guild and do some pugs. Maybe learn what other guilds are doing. Maybe learn what other guilds are perfecting, what they're focusing on when it comes to a certain boss. And I wanted to do that. I felt like it would be fun and helpful, and would help me come back, A, with maybe some gear, and B, clear head, and C, some kind of strategy to kill certain boss. Like, people in my guild had an awful time with this guy, or Gorger. This guy I'm not sure if you do a lot of raiding or not, but this boss out here is probably one of the most annoying bosses ever. He rolls around in a ball like in his labyrinth pretty much for the entire time of the raid, or a good majority of the raid, and that hurts a lot of players. A lot of players don't know how to counter that, and teams usually die to that boss pretty fast. And it's very unfortunate that the teams don't really get past the boss because it's a difficult boss, and some people just don't really get the mechanic. And I mean, it's okay, some people need a little bit more to learn than usual. So I decided to pug the boss and actually learn a lot of helpful things, and yet somebody in the guild, one of the officers, this was a time when I was already kicked out of the officer's rank. One of the other officers saw that I was online, and saw that I was standing in front of the entrance to the raid. And the thing is, I didn't even sign up on the guild calendar, the calendar. I didn't sign up for any raids on there, so I thought it was a good enough time, I thought it was a good enough sign to kind of say, hey, I'm not coming to tonight's raid. Apparently, out of nowhere, the officer that tattletales to the guild leader, and the guild leader tries to get me on Mumble. Well, she tries to have like I guess a typing argument, so I decided, you know what, just to make it easier, let's just get on Mumble, just so we can use voices, so you don't have to type out books to each other, and, you know, not like have a lot of misunderstandings and misinformation just passing by through everything. I decided to get up on Mumble, and I pretty much saw, hey, I never signed up on the guild calendar, so I don't know why it would be much of a problem. And honestly, out of being frustrated that we just not doing well with the guild and all that, I felt like it was just a good time to just step out for a little bit and, you know, get a fresh air. And I was really hoping that she was gonna understand it, and she seemed like she understood where I was coming from, but yet she went ahead and demoted me. Simply because I wanted to step out and get some fresh air. And the thing is, apparently, the big problem was I was somehow signed up as like the core raider, which I didn't even know I was a core raider. I never even signed I never even signed up anywhere that says like, hey, you're the core raider, you have to come to every single raid every single time and make sure you show up to everything because you're just like a little, like, you know, a little red paladin pawn. I don't remember signing contract or signing anywhere on like the guild Facebook page or the guild website, anywhere that I'm just, you know, some pawn to be used whenever. I'm a player like any other. I like to play the game, and if I need to step out and get a clear head because I'm a little frustrated with us just constantly butting heads in the same mechanic all the time, then let me do it. It's not like it's that big of a problem, really. It's not that big of a deal. Where's my board? Coltusk, get back here. Coltusk, come on. Where'd you go, dude? Coltusk went somewhere. I didn't even know where he's at. He just abandoned me. The guy just abandoned me. Come here, Coltusk. Come over here. Come over here. Coltusk, get over here. Where'd he go? There you are. There you are, buddy. There you go. Kill the Alliance guy. Second boy. There we go. Finally. God, this is struggle and a half.